Welcome to another episode of Talks with KG. And on this episode, we have extremely special one. You see this one here? Be taking all the back. You know?
Yeah.
All the way back. Sometimes you might see a man or you might hear a name. You know, and you might feel person now come.
Yeah.
Or the first time you hear the name, you think at that moment is when this person, if you understand what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you.
noble touch.
Yeah, man, much
You
blessings,
know?
much blessings.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
It's a pleasure being a part of the movement, the initiative, you know. Give thanks for the opportunity, you know.
Yeah, and as I say, some people might hear the name Noble Touch and they might associate it with, you know, the Noble Touch tag that we use here in the Trinidad songs, you know, whether it be the Rebels or the K-Lions or, you know, but they didn't really know how long the name Noble Touch been out there and been fighting the fight, you know. So I want you to put some clarity on that and take them all the way back.
All the way back.
You like?
My journey with music really started from the tender age of probably 5, 6, where it is I started dancing, you know. And
dancing is where you start.
yeah, dancing was really my starting point in the circuit of music, you know. And well, my father, he's a calypsonian, not really a famous calypsonian, but he does take part in the calypso circuit, you know. Patches is his name. And
Still?
Yeah, he does still do his thing, man, you know. And my queen, you know, she have vocal ability, you know, she does little opera and things, so it really started there in the beginning, dancing, and escalated when I went to primary school and starting to sing.
Right.
You know, yeah, I started doing my little singing and whatever the case is. Then I migrated to Grenada for some time. That was when I was entering Standard 3.
Right.
Yeah, I migrated to Grenada and lived there for probably 7 years, 8 years. So basically the rest of primary school and the entire secondary school life, I lived across there, you know. And then the love for music started to grow where I started writing my own song. Writing my own songs, my father, he had a little music room where, you know, he had piano,
Right.
quattro, guitar. So exposed to music, started to, you know, play little instruments. And, you know, there was this time my little brother was playing around with a program named Fruity Loops, you know. And that is where I started off feeling, you know, I writing my songs, I singing my songs, and then I started with the beats, you know.
Right.
And the journey ended up continuing and escalating where, you know, came back to Trinidad. And well, back in Grenada we used to look at a show called Synergy Soca Star, you know. And yeah, I always wanted to be a part of that, you know.
That is where I know, that is my first introduction to Noble Touch, you know, Synergy Soca Star. So let me talk about that now.
Yeah, well,
so
Synergy.
you was living in Grenada and you're looking at Soca Star from across
From
there.
across there.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, that was the year China was taking part, you know.
Right.
These
So
big
you
guns.
fly to Trinidad to take part in the competition?
No, well, I finished school in Grenada and came back here because my queen ended up flying over to America, and she put me in the custody of my father to take care of me, you know.
Right.
And the competition was coming around them time. I was going UTT in Point Lisas, and I saw the opportunity to be a part. And yeah, I write that song. Well, honestly, my inspiration for that song that I sing on Soca Star, which was True Wine Up, come more from Umi Makano, because he was that individual that I was at that age, you know, you
was looking up to,
yeah, like.
Because you're watching Soca Stars, you say.
Yeah, watching Soca Stars, as well as Shiny too, you know.
Yeah.
But mostly Umi vibes, you know, I really feed off his style and that kind of vibes, you know. It does go where inspiration is concerned, you know. And I build the instrumental, write the song. At that time, they was asking you to go by either Spine or by First Class, you know.
Right.
But I went by Spine, but Spine was so bombarded with plenty projects, I didn't really get there, you know.
This was when? 2001?
I was
Like make it clear for the people.
I had to go back in that
This was 2000, and if I could just...
That was 3+3, Synergy 3+3, so that was 2012, I think.
So nah, I was in Soca Star in 2012.
Right.
So I was like 2011. 2010, 2011.
Yeah, so
right
2011. I don't want to miss, you know?
Yeah. I believe it's 2011, 2010.
So I'll go back. So for the people who viewing, you know, they could go back and check out the... Right, so that was 13 years ago. That was... Yeah, so 2010.
2010, you see?
2010. So that was the year Preedy and Rasta, Summer Fraser, Kibwe, you know?
Right.
And, you know, so I entered the competition. It was an experience for me, you understand?
Them days you pump with the guitar, and?
Yeah, them days I'm moving with the guitar plenty, you know? So it was an experience for me. Making it to the finals. I didn't win, but I was in the bottom 3, you know.
Yeah.
But that was still an accomplishment in my career.
Yeah.
You know, where it brought me to a realization that it has something for me.
You had the talent, People start to rate you.
Yeah, so that was the function basically. So after that, I started dabble more into the production. You know, so I did a couple little projects in the early for Preedy before he went on to, you know.
Right.
You know, he went on to writing songs for other soca artists and stuff, you know. I also was doing music with upcoming artists in South. You know, from 6326 to Mike Wise to Profess and these guys, even Mechanic TID. He was way back when in them days, Young James, and yeah, so it escalated into me focusing on I wanted to start a record label.
Right.
You know, so I started the record label named Hide and Seek Records.
Right.
You know, but it didn't jump off the way it jumped off, you know. But people feel it is now I doing dancehall, but my Soca Star song is a soca dancehall, you know. And even back then I did work on a rhythm called the Bubble Nut Rhythm, which was a diversion or the inspiration came from the S-Class rhythm back in them days with Vybz Kartel and them, but I had a more R&B flavor feel to it, so or you could check out that, you know, the Bubble Nut Rhythm. So dancehall was something that as a producer and me taking a step into production, I always wanted to be diverse. I didn't want to say like soca alone, nah. Hip hop, dancehall, R&B, I mixing, matching, and reggae, everything I dabbling in, you know. So that was basically the essence behind.
You say that you were trying to build your label. I think really kick off. How it was supposed to.
Nah, it didn't kick off.
What do you mean by that?
Because me as a musician, and the kind of devotion and passion that I have for music, it goes way beyond boundaries. You know, this is something that I take very seriously, and at that tender age, that was the first time I was putting out so much, but I wasn't, you know, receiving what it is. You know, I find I putting out, and not really getting.
The people wasn't gravitating towards it.
It's not really under the gravitational force put into the masses, because I wasn't really doing it for the masses. I wasn't doing it for the love. It was in perspectives of the team I was rolling with at the point in time. They were clueless, you understand? So putting into marketing and all of these things, you know, I was now getting into and doing my little research. What's the next step? Them days was the days of Reverb Nation and MySpace and SoundCloud and them kind of things. So it was me, the work was on me. I had to do the artworks, I had to do the recording, mix and mastering. At that time I did buy a little camera, I had to go out and do the shooting and things, so it was real hectic, and me not resting and thing, I end up in a little, you know, a depression, you know. And it cost me, you know. So that was really the main factor for that, and after that I ended up went back to Grenada to, you know, for just a different environment, you know. And across there is when I started to, I was still doing my little writing and singing, so I work with guys like Looney Spark and Electrify, Mr. Killer. Yeah, mainly I also entered competitions across there where Andrew Hits, that's another producer from Grenada who does do the job and thing. I entered and I won that competition, you know. So over the years I've been dabbling in the music and still, you know, focusing on one day. My dream at that point in time was to become a household name,
right?
You know, worldwide, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And not knowing that little seed that I planted, years to come, it would have manifested into what it manifested, you know.
So you say you went into depression.
Yeah.
Because you thinking I putting in on all these work, all this work I putting in, and you find like, I mean, all artists has go through it, all producers has go through it. You putting out this, I mean, since 2010. Noble Touch pushing. 2000 and 2020, 2021, you must be going through the same, but what really going on, you understand? So obviously a man go fall in a depression, right?
Yeah.
So when you went into this depression, it's almost like you tell yourself, fuck out of that music.
Yeah, well, the thoughts come, but apart within myself, you know, stating, no, you can't give up on it, boy. And then too, just that passion and drive after been, and that wasn't the first time I went into that place, you understand? It's been re-escalating, so I tend to find it something spiritual under the essence, you know. You know it does be people probably just not, they find you too talented and you're over talented, and they might send off certain energies.
Well, as you say that,
onto you,
right?
You know?
As you say that, right? Now the reason I'm doing this platform, I mean, is to get the artists them a voice, to get the people behind the scenes a voice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know the name Noble Touch, you know, and we just see certain things on the media, all these different things, and it had a certain time where they say, somebody walk out here, oh Noble, what's going on with Noble?
Yeah, but that is
you believe that is what really transpired?
That is real facts for the people who know the essence, because I is not the type of person that's look under as a Rasta, as a Christian, as a Buddhist, as a Muslim, as a Hindu. I just look at it from a broad perspective, you know, from a level of spirituality, you know.
Right.
During like my levels are doing research on myself, because if you're into music, you can't be in music and can't not study the spiritual side.
Of course.
You understand? Because music dread, because simple as people don't even know the difference between 440 hertz and 432 hertz and all of these kind of high science that they would say frequencies, but frequency is real, and just thoughts and all is a form of energy, and so it are people out there, they are wrong, and it might appear as though they're for you, but it's not for you. And I real sensitive being a creative, you understand? Creatives are real sensitive beings, and me dabbling into music and going so deep into music, I believe I just take so much until I can't take no more.
They come like you absorbing all these different energies, and you feel like it started to disagree with.
And then after, when my spirit and my being itself can't take that, it does just explode. But with age, you know, come reasoning, understanding, and knowing is, I don't know, environments are partaking in, and I don't know which individuals are associating myself with.
What type of energy you dabbling with? It's real.
Yeah, it's real. So that is basically.
So you feel like now you're in a better place mentally?
Yeah, now I'm in a better place, putting into all the experiences that I've been through. Whether I feel
you understand what's going on a little bit more now?
Yeah, I understand the essence, and my eyes open to, you know, pick up on frequencies, pick up on vibes, be more alert, you understand, be more observant, you know, and be more cautious with moves that I'm making.
You're a godly person?
If?
You believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in the Creator, you know. I believe that there is a being responsible for everything that is going on.
You're a praying man, I should say?
I pray as well too, you understand. I mightn't pray the way other people pray, but you know, I wouldn't be ashamed to say it. Times me, I just by myself, and I just talking to myself, you understand, and talking to the Creator.
People go say, a man talking to himself as a madman.
Yeah, I
Yes, get plenty of that.
Yeah, I'll get plenty of that, but me, I wouldn't do it in public, you understand? But you see, when I'm in my zone,
yeah, me too.
I watch myself in
if my neighbor look through the window and see me sometime in night, he say I'm mad, I talking full-blown conversation. I vex with myself sometimes, you know, and reason with myself. So I can understand that because, as I say, I know it's a spiritual man. From the time I reach here, Noble, I feel that energy. Yeah, so I smell the incense wherever you're burning, you know, the sage, wherever it is, wherever spiritual, you know. You understand? I don't get the scent, you know, I don't get the scent. So I don't feel the energy light, you know, the energy spiritual now, but a man who connected spiritually, the evil must want to interfere with that.
Yeah, for real.
It's just you probably had it a lot harder than a lot of men, because I mean, we hear all kind of things, you know, because Noble is a very talented producer. Everybody know that. We even reach into the part of this interview where we go and tell them exactly what Noble do, what he produce, who he produce for, when he produce it, all these different things. You're a key man. But back to the spiritual part. When you had that type of spiritual awakening that way, sometimes the evil does attack you. But I'm glad to hear you say that now you learn how to deal with certain things, because I know as a spiritual man, I just feel the same way. I just feel like things attacking me sometimes. I might feel like I absorbing too much energy into my space at the point I start to feel like I going mad too. But I believe I have a lot of wisdom saying me too. I listening to you, you know, and you're talking about research, all these things, continue doing them things, because them is the thing that will strengthen you in the battlefield now. And I believe that I reached that place in my life, like I aware of what to bring into my life and what to take out now. And once I continue to do that, my life will go a certain way now.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so you just keeping your space clean, brother. You know, and keep everything pure.
Yeah, that basically it, you know, because as I say, you know, the negative energies just coming out, you know. Even in the place they like to attack me is on the mental plane, you understand, within
in your head.
Speech, and you know, you might hear certain things, but I know when certain things come to me is because who I am around. You understand? That's the level they're vibrating on, you know. So as a man does cleanse myself on a regular, even if I can't go by the beach or I can't go by the river, you understand? Say a little prayer, light up my incense, you know, burn my little sage, you understand? Use my little crystals, meditate, throughout my day, say prayers, talk to the Creator, you understand? And just keep expelling and keeping that positive mindset, because if I not focus up there, I can't function on the music. You understand? And the music is important.
Of course, brother. Of course. And yes, a key factor. So we need it in the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we just take a break and we come back with some more. Boom.
Yes, sir.